Hey, good morning, you guys. Dr. B here. It's a new week, and we are doing Monday, the definition of coffee talk. And this morning's cup is this is actually from Magnolia in Waco, Texas. So if you've seen the show with Chip and Joanna Gaines, and if you've never had a chance to go to Waco, Des and I had a chance a few years ago to actually surprise her with a trip around Christmas time, and we were able to double down. Did not know it until we were in Waco, but it was a year that Alabama was playing in a national semifinal playoff game for football. So we got a chance to check that out at Cowboy Stadium. So um, hope everybody had a great weekend. And I figured today, one of the thoughts that's on my brain is supplementation. So we do this thing the second Wednesday of every month called Wellness Wednesday, and it's a chance for people that are part of our community to save 20% off supplements. Now, we use a company called Nutridyne, and Nutridyne is based out of Minnesota. They're an amazing company, high quality, high potency ingredients. They only sell through doctors. And so, if you're taking supplementation, a lot of times you can take less tablets and capsules. But if you know anything about us here at the Wellness Progression, we are not about taking a shoebox full of supplements, because the word supplement means to fill in a gap. And some of those gaps are going to show up from your labs. I'm not a proponent of taking things for the sake of taking things. I'm a huge proponent of, if our lab work shows that we need it, we need to take it. And so today, I'm going to highlight a product that everybody needs to take, and that is D3. D3 with K2. And let me explain why. So we live in Arizona, and a lot of people think that vitamin D is a sunshine problem, and let me tell you, it is not. I can show you pictures of people that their skin looks like leather handbags. They are so dark and so tan, and they are deficient in vitamin D. And they are deficient in vitamin D because it has nothing to do with the sunshine, but in reality, it has to do with their level of consumption of green leafy vegetables, and also over farming and not enough nutrition in the soil that our plants are grown in these days. So, vitamin D is something that people need to take, but let me tell you why. Well, I guess I should let me start with telling you why. All right. A lot of people think that this is all about bone health. And when you talk about vitamin D, it is important for bone health, but it is truly important too that you take a version that has K2, because K2 is what actually delivers it to the bones so that it's not absorbed in other places. So the K2 derivative with potassium is going to be your delivery mechanism. And so when we start talking about this, bone health is going to be important. Now, some of the other benefits of this are cardiovascular health. So vitamin D is really, really important for cardiovascular health. Number three is going to be a biggie, is immune function. You will notice that people that have weak immune systems have decreased levels of vitamin D. We saw this a lot with COVID, is that the people that were the sickest, they were deficient in vitamin D. So vitamin D is huge for revving up your immune system and taking a maintenance dose to keep it revved up. Okay. And then the third thing is going to be, and people don't realize this, we think about bones, but we don't think about our teeth. So dental health, you will notice that people that have really poor dental health, get a lot of cavities, have root canals, have a whole host of dental problems, are deficient in vitamin D. And then the last one, believe it or not, it actually keeps people from developing a lot of muscle spasms. So D3 actually helps elongate those muscles, helps relax those muscles. So people that are super tense and really tight are going to be deficient in vitamin D. Okay, so those are 5 dew level things that you can take vitamin D for. Now, it's important to understand there is a method to actually determine how much of this you need to take. And I'm going to expel a couple of myths here. Research will show, well, I shouldn't say research, but doctors will tell you that, oh, if your vitamin D, if it's over 80, it's too high. If it gets too high, it'll thin your blood, and that could be a problem. Well, let me tell you, if it gets above 120, which I've seen maybe twice in my clinical career, then we get concerned. But typically, the baseline, they tell you, as long as it's above 30, it is normal. And that could not be further from the truth. Okay. I like to see it be between 60 and 80 when we do our labs, because when it gets low, we get tired, we get lethargic. And if it gets below 20, we can even see people get into clinical depression. All right. We never want to see that. And I've seen a little bitty capsule the size of a tiny blueberry bring people out of a clinical depression. So here's what you need to know if you're going to dose it correctly. You need an in-body scan. Okay. If you haven't had an in-body scan or a body composition scan, you let me know and I can tell you how to set that up. But there's a rule: for every 10 pounds of lean muscle tissue that you have on your frame, you need 1,000 IUs of vitamin D per day. So if you have 80 pounds of lean muscle tissue, you need to take at least 8,000 IUs per day. I recommend to most people, they're going to get on a 10,000 IU dose. But if you're some of my super big guys and you have 120 pounds of lean muscle tissue, believe it or not, you're going to need to take 15,000 IUs of vitamin D per day to maintain an optimal level of health. Okay? So just in repeating, you should be taking a maintenance dose of 10,000 per day, and then you should have your doctor checking it as part of your labs. And if you don't know what it is and you need somebody to help you coordinate and set up that lab work, I'm your guy. I can help you with that. More importantly, keep in mind, we want it with K2 because K2 helps deliver it to the bone. And just in recapping, it helps bone health, it helps cardiovascular function, it helps immunity, which is a big one, it helps dental health, and then the very last one is it helps prevent muscle spasms and also helps relax muscles. Okay, so that is your coffee talk for the day. Vitamin D. If you need a good source, we have our Wellness Wednesday this week. Reach out. I can hook you up. But more importantly, it's all about taking the right dosage. Okay? Hope everybody is well. Make it an awesome week. Work out today. Okay? Never, ever, ever miss a Monday. And if you find these to be meaningful and you want them delivered by text and you haven't already let me know, then just comment in the comment section and I'll make sure to get you added so you get them directly delivered by text and you don't miss them any single days. Okay? Be well. God bless. See you soon.